unprecedented time as we
I can't figure out how to do that.
And whether you are here in the U.S. or watching from around the world, know that our thoughts are with you and all have been impacted. Over the past few weeks, the WNBA, its players,
it says to change the comment settings on the.
All right.
We are all in this together, one team. As a result, the WNBA, the WNBPA, and our generous draft presenting partner State Farm are teaming up to donate $20,000.
Okay, let's see. Oh, we are live. Sweet. All right, everybody. Good to see you. We're trying to figure out how to get our comment section rolling. We'll be working on that in the background. But we are excited to have all of you here as part of our live stream and be checking this out. Obviously, we're listening right now to Kathy Engelbert's message to everybody with the weird, what do you call this? The virtual draft. Be really interesting. So hello to all of you who are joining in with us.
What a virtual draft might entail. I heard players say,
Yep.
I've been working to realize this early.
Just getting comments open up in just a little bit. So we'll confirm for everyone listening. Thank you so much for being here. We'll get a chance to confirm sound and visual, and you can tell us if our shirts look good or not. All the good stuff.
We're repping some merch, right? Steve's got the WNBA. I've got the show shirt. We're rocking it. So
good stuff. Virtual draft. I guess Kyle, kicking it over to you. What are your thoughts so far? We've gotten to see team representatives so far.
Yeah, I think that basically what we're looking at is I think it's a virtual draft in a lot of different ways. I think it's the virtual draft in not just for us broadcasting this, but obviously for all of them, which will be really interesting. But yeah, we'll see.
Contribute more than $76 million.
Oh, we're getting the Kobe and Gigi memorial stuff right now, so I want to tune into that.
Kobe was not only a legendary basketball star, but a devoted youth coach and had a tremendous impact on countless young players. I met Kobe last fall, and after he left our office, I remember thinking that his passion for the WNBA and girls basketball was unparalleled from anyone else I had ever met. Alongside Kobe, 8 others were lost that sad day in January, including 3 rising basketball stars, Alyssa Altobelli, Gianna Bryant, and Peyton Chester. These athletes represented the future of the WNBA, players who were following their passions, acquiring knowledge of the game, exhibiting skills that were way beyond their years. They represented the next generation of stars in our league, maybe what might have been called the Mambacita generation. While it brings us pain not to see their dreams come to fruition, I'm grateful and proud to announce them tonight as honorary draft.
Honorary draft picks. That's awesome.
In the 2020 WNBA draft, in alphabetical order, first,
Alyssa Altobelli.
Selects Alyssa Altobelli.
This is cool.
From Newport.
Very cool.
Second, the WNBA selects Gianna Gigi Bryant, guard from Newport Beach, California. And with the third honorary pick, the WNBA selects Peyton Chester, forward from San Juan Capistrano, California.
I'm glad they really gave everyone equal footing. And obviously, I think everyone's. I don't want to talk too much during this video package, but just to get a chance to honor each of them, hear from their families. That was a really nice gesture.
Yeah, very cool.
We just wanted to say thank you to WNBA for honoring our sister Alyssa and her 2 teammates. Alyssa loved the game of basketball and she worked extremely hard at it. There's no doubt in our mind she would get to the WNBA after her years. Thank you again for honoring our sister.
so much for honoring my Gigi and selecting her to be an honorary draft pick this year.
Oh, she's wearing the hoodie.
Wearing Kobe's orange hoodie, yeah.
Tirelessly
Man.
every single day. She wanted to be one of the greatest athletes of all time, just like her daddy. Thank you for honoring my little girl. Eddie and Gigi loved the WNBA. This is his sweatshirt. Thank you. I want to congratulate all of this year's draft picks. So congratulations. Work hard. Never settle. Is that mama mentality?
I have a
Awesome. Very cool.
I have a sneaky
Very
suspicion that my feed is way behind.
it might be.
Join the WNBA family. We thank their families for the privilege of drafting their girls and for being a part of this special night.
That was well done. Very tasteful. Very well done.
Moments.
I really liked it. Yeah,
First-round picks of the 2020
that was great.
WNBA draft.
Shout out Sabrina.
Prospects, this is your time to join
This
our league, where not only
is
fans
great.
but courageous advocates, natural leaders, passionate entrepreneurs, incredible moms, and so much more. Congratulations.
New York Liberty on the clock. Let's do this.
On the clock.
Fantastic. Awesome. So we do have Logan Jones with us. We're as you can tell, there we are.
Look at his face.
There's
We won't have an
Logan.
actual live stream of Logan, but we got a picture up of him. We
We
had
do
some
have
technical
the
difficulties getting his
Yeah.
video
Again,
to
we're-
work.
That's disappointing. 'Cause I put on pants for this.
That's a rarity.
I was really prepared.
Yeah, that means
Again,
that
we're
people
working on comments and trying to get those
up
enabled.
and rolling.
I don't know why they're disabled. So apologies, we can't hear anything from you, but we'll open up a thread up on Twitter as well. So head over at WNBA Nation Pod on Twitter. If you have comments, you have questions, you have anything you want to add to the conversation, we'll be responding to you over there as well.
Absolutely.
And then once I get this figured out, I'll be much more animated. So sorry that this is it's a bit of a hot mess right now.
It's funny, I can hear and then I can hear Steve's coming through on my other
All right, everyone.
ear. They're like back and forth between my two ears. All-time scoring leader at Oregon. I mean, we're just waiting for New York to make the pick on her, right?
Well, we'll see.
I've seen crazier things happen in a draft.
You never know.
It's true. Oh yeah, new CBA breakdown. This is good. Average player
Okay.
compensation of 130 grand. It's good.
Said made for kids and videos private launch. Okay, got it. I think I know what the deal
They got Sue Bird.
Ha ha ha. Now it's party.
Sue Bird, Kyle.
What's that?
I said they can't pick Sue Bird.
She's on the
They have Sue Bird in studio, I should say. There you go.
get it, yeah.
All the upgrades. We upgraded across the board. Like, we want to talk about travel, benefits. Of course, we don't want to talk about money. That's where we did,
All right.
the best job. So you see all the salary, the cap.
All right. The comment feed is
yeah,
open for business.
Sweet.
So
Good.
turns out that if you set your live video settings to say they're kid friendly, you can't comment.
You can't
on
use
it.
comments.
So this is
That
officially consider this an edgy, adult-centered podcast, not in the gross way, but in the way like we're gonna push that envelope. We're gonna push those boundaries. That's you just never know what you're gonna get here. Wild and wacky.
We should have got together with Holly Rowe for the virtual draft and just like hung out in Salt Lake in like different areas of a big room. That's a pretty central location for all of us. We're like, hey, Holly, Utah to Utah, let's get together. What do you say?
Can we take a second and talk about this off-season movement
Yeah.
graphic here? That's not even the half of it. And here's my question for y'all. Are we done yet? Can we
Dude,
expect any fireworks tonight?
pretty sure we're going to see at least, I think that we're going to see at least 2 trades tonight.
At
I would
least
not be
2.
surprised to see more than 2, but I think at minimum we're going to see 2 tonight. I think Dallas is going to make a move and New York is going to make a move, both.
You got to sense it. Otherwise, that's half of the first round.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas already has a huge roster right now for their training camp. I just don't see, like, there's no way that they don't make some sort of move to try and, bolster something.
Fantastic. Well, as we said,
pick is in. Here we go.
Here we go. Kyle's going to know it before me, so he's going to spoil
You're
every
both
pick.
going to know before me. I'm pretty much just.
Pick in the 2020 WNBA draft.
Sabrina to New York. Surprise, surprise.
I'm
So cool. I just love the response. I love
Look at
watching
that.
families
Look
together.
at that. Look at that family not
Okay.
social distancing, celebrating with their daughter.
Yeah, they've been quarantining together. So
All right, I'll give it.
works.
I'll give it to him.
We'll let it pass.
I'll give it to
Let it
him.
slide.
All right, guys. Sabrina, York City. How do we feel?
Sabrina official. So this is great. Natalie, we are also excited to see where Kiki goes. We've seen her as high as 8th. Wouldn't be surprised to also see her drop to 2nd round, but yeah, would love to see where Kiki goes.
Yep, definitely. So we've now got 177 people in already. This is crazy. This is crazy. Comments chat is up and open, so drop in your thoughts. Sabrina Ionescu, number 1 to the New York Liberty, with that fantastic seafoam green and that great new logo.
Oh.
What are your thoughts? How do you feel? And Dallas on the clock at 2. Are we going Sabali? Are we going
Lauren?
Hawks? Are we just
Who
going
knows?
to
We
go
might
crazy
see
with something else?
Kennedy Carter popping up. I don't think they'll go Kennedy Carter. I think they're deep enough in their backcourt. But Logan, I want to hear Logan's take on the total overhaul of the new look Liberty. Not only new jerseys, new logo. They basically traded away the face of their franchise and picked up Sabrina Ionescu. Is this a positive or a negative net for the Liberty?
I don't know.
Got baby Sabrina reading the paper.
Was it a positive when Vegas took Asia Wilson?
I feel like I mean, you did lose Tina Charles. So
I like the, if you're gonna reset all the way. You know, like it's gonna be Sabrina's team into the future. Don't let there be any sort of friction there, like during her first couple seasons. You basically give her the keys and say, like, all right, we made you the number 1 overall. We know what you can do. You're the biggest media market there is. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think it's perfect. I actually do like on the Washington end of things, obviously picking up Charles as well, with Mieseman's future looking, you never know how much we ever are going to get from Mieseman during a season because the WNBA is not her number 1 priority. So I think having someone like Tina Charles there to back up Deladon is big as well. But yeah, big time moves for the Liberty. I like what we're seeing so far. Oh yeah, quiz for all of our chat. Anybody know where Sabrina her family is from? Curious. And what language she speaks from said place?
I'm gonna enjoy this for a couple days, but I'm just excited to get out there and start.
We'll see if anybody in the chat gets it.
Get to know my team, get to know the coaching staff, and really just get to work.
You told me that one of the areas you were the most
Blazer Queen saying they're gonna hit up some New York Liberty games.
Yeah, we hope you can.
Yeah, right.
We're hoping you can hit up Barclay soon, or at least safely. Maybe soon isn't smart. But yeah, I mean, this is, Sabrina's the type of person that creates must see, and I think you should expect. I'm hoping we'll see a good boost, especially because earlier today, Kathy Engelbert did a media conference interview, talked a lot about how really just about every option is on the table still when it comes to how the season's going to go, how it's going to sync with the NBA season. And there's a lot of ideas that I think could really help get a lot of people engaged. And when we open up stadiums, people can come to games again, potentially, building high attendance. And, obviously what's important right now is everyone's health and safety. But, I think we can maintain some good growth, and Sabrina's the face of that. By the way, officially Nike sponsored Sabrina Ionescu. That was confirmed today online. Signed a contract with Nike, big time agent. I mean, we're going megastar here. So, all right. So Logan, Kyle, while we're sitting here at a commercial, your final call. Who you expect going it to Dallas?
I think it's gonna be Lauren
Cox. Okay, I was actually thinking Sabali. I think Satu Sabali's going number 2.
In our group mock draft, I did pick Lauren Cox. I said that I felt overall being local and with the level of skills and needs that she has, I saw I'd like her to go too. I think Sabali's going to. I think Dallas sees similar star potential that they see in Enrique right now, and I get the sense they see that as a potential 1-2 punch for a long time. So that's where I take it. And that's the one Dallas pick that I think is remaining. The other two, when we get to them,
who knows?
I not know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't expect New York's late first round picks to remain. At least one of them. They're either going to package one with some second round picks or move both of them to bump up. I'm a firm believer that I can see the Liberty making a play for Hebert.
I could see that, having Hebert and Ionescu, a 1-2 punch would be awesome.
Speaking of the Dallas pick, we need one. We'll make one.
Gonna be Goodell coughing in his basement, like I got another phone call, and pick is in.
Keep reading. There's a video of my face. I need to not stare blankly into space while I'm thinking.
Yeah. Everyone, show off in the comments how we looking, how we feeling, how do you like our setup? Do you like my shoes? Do you have a favorite pair of my Converse?
Still so much more handsome than either of us, so you're good.
Was like, do you have a picture of yourself we could use? Because it's not working, like your feed. And I looked through all my photos on my phone really quick, and I was like, no.
Nope. Do you want a picture of my dog?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right. I'm gonna commission you, Kyle, just so you know, in the next pick. I need, that's literally for me. I'm being selfish. I need you to cater to my needs, no one else's. So yeah, final call out in the chat. Who do you have going at 2? Here we go.
With the second pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, Dallas Wings. Satu Sabali.
Had a feeling. Very nice.
Sabali to Dallas. There it is. Dude, the backdrop of that room is perfect. I love it. Up. Sabali heading to Dallas.
I gotta tell you, that is a draft look. She might. They highlighted a few of the looks online that she might win the night.
She's got a good
look. If anyone else has seen what anyone else's threads they're bringing to the draft, you can comment if you have one you're excited about. But so that coat's fantastic.
Man, it's not often that you
cool
see
looking thing that I could never wear, which I guess is most things. I guess it's not that hard of a take.
It's not often that you see a lot of teams go 1 and 2 in any draft in any sport. We've seen it a handful of times in the women's game.
UConn went 1, 2, 3 a handful of years ago.
And then we've seen a couple times in the men's game. But, 1-2. After having not had a first-round draft pick in the history of their program, Oregon goes 1-2 in 2020. Natalie Hicks says she's got 9 pairs of Converse. So
Nice.
I think we got a new one of our best
Yeah.
friends of the show right here.
Converse Nation. That's how we do it. I have an unhealthy obsession with Converse. It's like the only thing I spend money on. So this is where it gets interesting. Is there are
Yeah.
a lot of people that I've seen online, and I know people connect with you specifically, Kyle, who say that the jury's out on who the star of this draft is going to be.
Yes.
Because there's reason to believe Sabali could end up being the real star to shine through this.
Yeah.
Where do y'all feel about that? I mean,
My thoughts are, I think Ionescu is going to be the front runner for Rookie of the Year. I think she's the most league ready by a little ways, but I do think that, from my own perspective, I'm really good friends with the University of Utah play-by-play for the Ute women's basketball team. And so he's been able to see this Oregon team play several times over the last couple of years. And he told me that he thinks that Sabali's ceiling is the highest of any women's college player that he's witnessed in person. So he knows ball really well. And so, I mean, that's a strong take considering, some of the other players that he's seen. But I mean, I got to respect that.
no, yeah. When I'd heard that, I thought it was interesting. I think obviously we can historically look back at number ones in the W draft. It's kind of speaks for itself. I mean, very commonly it hits. But Sabali's a special player. I think it's really going to be interesting to see where those compare for a time. It would have been interesting to try to find a way to get them together. Obviously, that would have been heavy maneuvering from New York's part with a team they already conducted a trade with. So obviously, yeah, but I really still wouldn't be shocked if they find their way to picking up Ruthie. Those are two extremely close friends who complement each other really well. After the Tina Charles trade, Ruthie brings an asset to the Liberty that they could use. I think there's a lot to be interested in there.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what Dallas does with. They've got the craziest roster right now. They have just a pile of assets, and I have no idea what their final product's going to look like when we actually see basketball. Hopefully, here within, I don't know, a month or 2, 3. We'll see. I don't know.
So
we got another Converse fan in here. Z&G Films got 13. Everybody's one-upping with how many Converse they got.
I've got one.
Here's a fun game.
Singular pair.
I'm gonna give this a fun game. Let's I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna make this for merch. I at least know we have decal stickers in the ready, so we'll see if we can do anything else. In 5 minutes, whoever guesses closest to the number of Converse that I own.
Ooh.
That's our contest. Is let us know. So shout out your numbers.
Careful listeners. I believe you mentioned it on a podcast. I don't remember what episode.
I actually did. And it's no longer that number.
Oh, jeez. All right. Usually I make jokes about how it's like kind of an addiction for you.
All right, number 3 coming up. Sorry to cut you off. Number 3.
Wait, with the big obvious pick. Oh man,
to
can
the
you
fever.
Imagine
that front court. The Lauren Cox, Tierra McCowan front court.
Nobody is scoring on the inside against Indiana. Nobody.
That's going to be fun. I mean, a strong defensive move. And this is, anyone who listened to our last episode heard the shocker of the year so far when Logan put in the Fever as his potential underdog of the year. So, Logan, with that in mind, how do you feel about the Lauren Cox Tierra McCowan connection?
Yeah, I'm glad that they were picking third because essentially you've heard my takes on this before. If you've listened to the last couple episodes, I think you really couldn't go wrong with these top 3, and I think they went in the right order. This is the order I would have put them in. You asked earlier, like who's going to be the star of this draft. It kind of reminds me, like if you look at great drafts in the past, as we've done when we did our top 5 WNBA drafts of all time. A lot of times the top of the draft in those really good ones, all 4 of those top players, they end up with rings, they end up in the Hall of Fame. There's always late first round and mid second round picks that also shine. So there's no reason they can't shine together. I think both Oregon picks and Lauren Cox are both, or all three of them are just gonna. I'm a big believer, and I recognize that not every draft pick in every draft is gonna hit and live up to the potential that is projected for them on draft day. But those three, I think you can pretty much take to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
But by the way, backdrop game still strong.
Yes, that's a
this is
good
the new-
backdrop.
normally it's just like fits, right? Like who has the best look, orange carpet, what have you. But there's a new element to it this year at the virtual draft. The backdrop game is something else.
Backdrop and the outfit for Lauren Cox, I think, is working really well. I think that's a solid just overall look. You got the flowers off to the side. Nice.
C&G film spamming the chat with all
Yeah,
all these
trying
cover
to get the
selectors. I gotta go
closest.
with your first. I gotta go with your first guess. So that's the end of
His
it.
first guess was 33. Yeah.
I noticed they were commenting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was like, man, they got a long way to go. I would have started at 100 and started counting backwards.
Kevin Love giving a shout out to Cox right now. I could do without the Yankee hat, but
There's no athlete from Oregon in sports that I disown more than Kevin Love. I don't want that
I'd have been down. I'd have been down with it until I saw that. What's the yeah? Very, very cool.
Well, congratulations.
All right. Well, I'll reveal
Holly
them
Rowe
officially.
giving her the background love as well.
That's class.
That's
So,
good.
I'm excited for 4 now. Like the top 3, we've all been like, it's going to be those 3.
Yeah.
So we got the Atlanta Dream on the clock at the 4. A lot of general feeling is it's going to be Kennedy Carter out of A&M. Sound off in the comments. Let us know who you got there. Who do you think's heading to the Dream? But Logan, Kyle, is it going to be anyone other than Kennedy? Do you have any other thoughts? Logan called out a really good one in our mock draft, but we'll see what's for real.
Ty Harris is a good pick.
I hope it's going to be Harris or Dangerfield or another guard that maybe is surprising at this spot, but one that Atlanta really likes. Because I like rooting for Atlanta, and we love Nikki Collins. She's a friend of the show, but I just am not as sold on Kennedy Carter as I think a lot of people are. And that's not any hate on South Carolina. There are a lot of other players on the South Carolina team I think are definitely going to be in talks for today, but. I just have a gut feeling, and I know that's the worst type of analysis.
All right. Number 4.
The Atlanta Dream select Kennedy Carter.
And it's official.
He goes.
Kennedy Carter, Texas A&M, now with the Atlanta Dream. So going from one of my favorite college logos to potentially the new worst logo in the league. That might be my hottest take of the night.
I wish her the best, Kennedy Carter. Like I want her to prove me wrong and be awesome. I will not be insulted if she tears the league up. But there are a lot of guards that are going to go in this round, and I'm going to keep careful tabs on how they all do. And I don't want to be hypercritical on anyone, but I do wish that Ty Harris would have. I think she would have been a good match with Atlanta's system. And
my one issue, not even issue, but my one question here. You just landed Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams is a generally ball dominant guard. She's someone who likes to work the ball up the floor. You saw that a lot in Connecticut. That was very much an open strategy as we work our offense through Courtney. That's a very similar trait with Kennedy. So the idea is who plays that role. Is Kennedy going to be comfortable as a stop and pop shooter? Is she going to be comfortable with off ball and not being put in that situation? I think that's a skill level she's going to have to learn. If she does that and her shot stays consistent, awesome. But that would be that's a big question of mine. Another question I have for you guys really quick, just to drop off this whole analysis thing. Did you guys see the Dream very subtly showing off their new jerseys?
I did not.
They're not going chest logo this year. Their reds say Dream, their grays say Atlanta. And outside of our questions about the logo, I like the gray color scheme. I think the red pops well, and I respect anyone who actually puts their team name on their jersey.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'll shoot it to y'all in chat, but yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, yeah, I'm watching the
There it
Kennedy
is.
highlights here because my stream is about a minute behind. And I mean, I know she owns she basically owns every Texas A&M record. Like she's gonna have her number retired tomorrow in the university halls. But I have questions about how she'll fit in Atlanta. And I'm glad I'm not.
Oh man, I think we oh no, we didn't lose Kyle's face. I think he stepped away. His background is just a white wall, so it looks like a grayed out box. Just fun fact, everyone. Some behind the scenes love.
I think I'm back.
Yeah. Cool. Well, right when Kennedy Carter's having technical difficulties in her interview, we had our flourish there. So perfect. Well, now the draft gets fun. We have our generally high predicted picks now good and out of the way. We now move on to the 5. Right now slotted is Dallas for another selection. In our mock draft, I gave this pick to Bella Allery out of Princeton. Any last thoughts for you, Logan, real quick, where you see Dallas taking 5?
I could see that. I could also see Mom Premier start to. I think this is about the range where she's going to go is in the next few picks. So we'll see if any team is really in love with her and takes her high.
People were calling me out. Okay, we finally had to do a commercial. People were like, "It's been 5 minutes, Steve." Okay, cool. All right. I own 57 pairs of Converse. So that's the number. It was 50. I think it was 55 when you and I talked, Logan, on the show last.
I was going to guess 53.
Yeah, we're now at 57. It's halted for a while because there's no shoes don't earn a thing right now. So I may I'm handling a couple other things here. I might task Kyle with making sure we have a definitive winner, but we'll get a sticker over to you. We'll see if we can get you some love there. Well, we got a commercial for the Jordan documentary. Boy, did you know that was happening Sunday? I haven't seen ads for it every 14 seconds. I'm excited about it. I'm just saying it's.
I am too. Is the pick in?
It says pick is in, yeah. So they'll be cutting out a commercial hopefully soon.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be awesome. But they've been hammering. I mean, they know they're the only show in town that Sunday in terms of sports.
Yeah. Exactly. So, well, hopefully we'll get Kyle back in here momentarily. Yeah, I think I like to call it with Mont Premier. I think that'd be I think I called her the steal of the draft. I think Mont Premier is a fantastic pickup. Ruthie obviously makes a lot of sense. That physical big style, like that's kind of where I see this going. But looking through mock drafts, there's different mock drafts from different sources. I'm seeing Megan Walker. I'm seeing Ruthie. I'm seeing Tasha. I'm seeing Ty Harris. Bella's on one. Beatrice is on one. So we're getting no help here.
This is where it starts to the variables start to really multiply after the first 4 or so. So we'll start getting more and more variations on it. But I certainly think Ruthie could go high. She's actually someone that, as soon as you mentioned in our mock draft, I've just been kind of going over in my head and thinking, like, we keep saying, like, Sabrina's going to be the star, but we're like, what about Sabali? I think Ruthie should be in this conversation. What if she's actually, the foundation of a team that wins?
Hey, our boy's back.
I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. We're in the process of selling a house, and I am not in my actual home right now. So we are working on it.
Whose home are you in? You're just in someone else's home?
I'm at my work. I had to come in and use the Wi-Fi somewhere, right? So, okay. All right.
Here we go. Number 5.
With the 5th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Bella Allery.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that
Bella
pick.
to the Wings.
I like that pick.
Absolutely love this one. I am a
Big
huge
time.
Bella. This is great.
Big time. I
This is
think that
solid.
she's got so much like she can do so much across the court. Does that make sense? Like she can be out on the wing, she can hop inside if she's got a mismatch with a smaller player. I really like what we see from Bella. I think she's got a lot of utility,
Mhm.
that she can add a lot of value. I actually really like Dallas with Agumbawale, Sabali. You got Bella now. Like that's a good, solid young
Mhm.
core of players that you can pick from. I like this a lot.
Bella is low key one of the best shot blockers of this draft.
Yeah,
Is a very consistent shooter. Stretches well on both sides of the fort. Great wing defender. She fits in almost any position. I mean, she's someone that you really once you find that groove, she's going to be a big fit. I want Bella and Gustafsson on the court at the same time is something I'm excited to see. That's a matchup that I think could be extremely exciting because those are two players that have a very similar dynamic in that they could find a utility like anywhere on the court. And I expect to play well together. So there's a lot of cool matchups and pairings that I think would be a lot of fun
yeah,
with this Dallas team. And it's not over yet. For that 7 could be exciting as well if it sticks
yeah,
around, and I feel like it will. So
yeah. I agree. I think there's a lot. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen any trades go down yet, but I think that I'm thinking we're gonna. I mean, maybe my prediction of 2 was a
we'll have
little
to see if we get
excessive,
to
but I
the
think we're gonna see at
if
least
we
one
get to
big
the
one.
9 pick. That's where I'd start to potentially see.
Yeah,
There'll be
where
some.
New York's got 13 and 15 available as well. Like there's a lot going down.
There'll be some, but for the same reason that I'm not like like we're pretty much nailing the top of this draft so far in terms of like our predictions, but it's also because it was like there was just this obvious tier of players that should have gone.
Yeah,
So like I don't think there's been trades because every team realizes like I'd rather just have the player that's gonna be there. But I think starting at about the 9-10 range, that's when stuff's gonna start shuffling around.
yeah. I agree. I think that we could see a huge spread, and that's kind of what you saw a lot in not just our mock draft, but across a lot of mock drafts. Winsider, High Post Hoops, W Hoops blogger, our friend Anila, and then just kind of all the other ones that you're able to go and see. There's a lot
Yep.
of variety across those later first round picks.
Yep. So we've got Minnesota, the Lynx at 6. Kyle called Kennedy Carter because we pushed her back a little bit. If you didn't have Kennedy, who are you going with in that pick, Kyle?
I like bringing in another guard. So I think the Ty Harris, Crystal Dangerfield, I'd go one of those two ways. I don't know exactly where
Like that.
Minnesota's leaning. For me, I take Ty Harris. I think that she hasn't been given enough credit for the upside that she's got. But who knows? They might. I do know that Cheryl Reeve said some good things about Crystal Dangerfield, so
Mhm.
I could see that being a potential. But here we go. It's in.
Right, here we have it. Ty's my call as well before the pick gets in.
With the 6th pick in the 2020
Ooh, Kiki going to the Lynx. Oh, sorry, Steve. I said that a little
5-second
quick.
rule. What did I
Sorry.
say?
I left and came back and I forgot.
This
Kiki Herbert
surprises
Harrigan.
me. I love Kiki. I didn't see her go in first round. But the thing is, it makes sense if she were to go first round. And who am I to tell Cheryl Reeve that she picked the rookie of the year at 6 last year?
That's
So
true.
who am I to call that out? Yeah, I mean, across all, I mean, this is just very similar to what we saw at Bella. Just all around, can shoot well, can defend well. Was a fantastic leader on what was obviously a phenomenal team.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to say no to. I was not expecting them to go this direction, but
I'll
I'll
say
take it.
I'm impressed she's the first South Carolina one taken.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
that's my thoughts. I really expected. Yeah, I definitely. I mean, we were calling the Gamecock for this pick with the tie, so that's where it gets
Yeah.
interesting. But
And it's interesting that they went with like a forward type. I think that if I'm Minnesota, you have to shore up your guard line. I mean, you've got Odyssey Sims and you've got a potential Lexi Brown coming in. I still think that you want to have a little bit more shoring up there. You know, I'm not Cheryl Reeve, and I trust her. She's built dynasties in Minnesota, so there you go.
All right, so the 7 pick from Dallas is in, so we'll be hitting Kathy anytime. It feels like a Ruthie pick here. That's what I'm feeling.
See Ruthie.
If it's not Ruthie, Chicago can't screw that up. They better not. But
I can see Megan
right.
Walker.
Yeah, that's a good call as well.
Megan Walker going here. I thought Megan Walker might go as high as 5.
Mhm.
We will see. Pick is in.
All right. See how this goes.
With the 7th pick, 2020 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Tyasha Harris.
Ty Harris.
There it is.
To Dallas.
Nice.
There it is. Steve, we are perfectly synced now. I closed my app and reopened it. We are perfectly synced.
And then I'm Steve, and I'm Kyle, and we're in sync. How
I
it's done.
wish.
Oh,
And I'll tell you
I
what.
like this. You look at their first. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought Dallas was going to do something with either the 5 or the 7 pick, but to snag Allery and Harris in addition to their top 3 pick, maybe they're right to just load up on rookies. I don't know what they're going to do with their existing roster, but I like it. I mean,
I wonder if
they've got a good haul right now.
There's a Brian Agler mindset here of I've now got an elite level rookie at every position, and so now all of my current players are on notice. Like I almost see this as a way to build a competitive atmosphere, to say like, look, every spot's open and you can earn your keep. And I see a player like Ty Harris, making Enrique Gumbawale type of, like I like that competitive nature of them making each other better that way. Obviously, you look at that with their front court. I was like the idea, like if we can get a high quality guard while we're picking up these quality bigs, why not? So I like this a lot. This is good stuff. All right. We all know how I feel about the 8 spot. I think the way I feel at the 8 spot is the same way Kyle feels about the 8 spot.
Yes.
If you're Chicago at the 8, why do you not pick up Ruthie here? I think it's the move. But is there a potential for them to take a different route?
Megan Walker,
Obviously, yes, but
not still being picked is a little surprising for me. I don't think that she'll drop too much further. So I could see that, but I do think a Ruthie pick here would be really solid. I think she fits well. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on this one of where I would go. I think Hebert fits really well for me because, as we've said, I think that having a better front court is probably the one thing that the Sky are lacking from making a strong push into the playoffs.
I like having a traditional lockdown big there. I think you have shooting in spades over in Chicago, and so there's a lot of that. So I go with that. I go with that defensive strength. I go with having a phenomenal rebounder, but I don't know that they also. I mean, Megan Walker's probably the name that pops. I don't know that anyone saw her going all the way to 8. So
yeah,
it's a hard one to knock off.
This is about when Walker enters the conversation, but I actually took Walker a pick ahead of Hebert in our mock draft. I've since revised my stance on that. Both are definitely worth taking. They're both first rounders, and you're going to be happy with either. But if I had my choice of the 2 here at 8, I'd actually I'm not going to be annoyed. I like Chicago, and I'm a closet Chicago fan, but I want Hebert.
I love this. Subert taking us to school right now. This is great.
Here's my thought. Is it weird that we're 8 picks in and we haven't seen a UConn player taken? That feels unique to me.
It's true.
Oregon players will go.
Yeah, we're gonna have 3 Oregon players before a single UConn player potentially.
We might get out of the first round without a UConn player.
I mean, it would be a real scratch.
Maybe I would be surprised if we don't see at least Dangerfield or Walker go. But I mean, there's a lot still left on the board. We've got Mom Premier, we've got Loxa, we have a pile of players right now that could easily sneak up. I think that Kiki pick that early is interesting to see to her go that high.
That's the most unexpected pick for me so far. And
Yeah, that's been the eyebrow raiser. And that's nothing against Kiki. That's just a comment on where we anticipated the other players going. So it'll be interesting. I think Kiki was shocked. Did you see her response? She kind of looked like, wait, me? Hold on. I wasn't sure.
You see it.
Yeah. So let's see. All right, guys, we're in commercial break right now. And we just want to say thank you guys to all of you who have tuned in. I think we've had up to almost 280 people at one time hopping in on this live stream. That's awesome. Just want to say thanks to all of you. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at WNBA Nation Pod. You can find us on Facebook as well, and just search WNBA Nation. We're the first thing to pop right up there. If you want to subscribe, we're going to try and get some more of our regular podcast just the audio here on YouTube. If that's an easier way for you to listen, go ahead and subscribe there, and we'll do our best to make sure that you stay up to date there.
I do have a question for the chat. I want to know what snack game you're bringing.
Yeah.
So I got some homemade popcorn and a Coke Zero. So I'm basically, this is the closest I've been to a movie theater in a long time. what I want to tell us in the chat what snack game you're bringing. I want to know what you got going on for this watch party. Kyle, Logan, you guys got anything fun? I mean, eating like on camera on mic is not the easiest thing in the world.
I've tried
so maybe
really hard.
Nothing right now.
I'm rocking a water bottle. Again, I'm not at my house. I'm at work, and I'm actually not in my office because my office isn't conducive for this type of streaming environment. So if I was in my office, I have some granola bars and a ruby red squirt in the fridge, which low-key might be the most underrated soda, but that's a take for a whole nother time.
I like it.
Yeah, that's my take. Logan, how about you? Tuna sandwiches? Yeah, someone's got tuna sandwiches. I love tuna sandwiches.
That is how it is done. In case you're not
good.
curious, this is me applauding a tuna sandwich. That's fantastic.
I haven't eaten anything in like 16 hours. I probably should go grab something.
Twizzy Bites is solid. They're not called nibs anymore, by the way.
I know.
They're just bites. Possibly the worst marketing move of all time.
Torchy's taco.
Unless there's like
I don't
some
know what that is, but it sounds awesome.
reason why not. All right, we're back on from commercial. I think we're going to be hitting the Chicago pick any second now.
The pick is in, yes, and I think we're about on.
All right, let's see how we do.
Yeah, I think we're about the same. Yes, we are. Sweet.
All right, looks like we're going to wait a second before the pick. I slowly move my earpiece now just in case. Streaming is fun. I like that the same woes we're having are what the actual ESPN broadcasts are having, by the way. I feel bad for Kennedy, and I don't know if you guys watched, but there were some technical difficulties during her interview. Like, just listen, guys, Zoom sucks. It's not always fun.
In the draft is security at the point guard position, or possibly a fifth post. And you see what they were able to do this year. The biggest get is Azrae Stevens, again, a 6'6" player who can hit from the perimeter. So the expectation, if they go to a point guard,
all right, they're going over the Katie Lou Azrae Stevens trade.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Time for the 8.
With the 8th pick in the WNBA 2020 draft, the Chicago Sky select Ruthie Hebert.
Ruthie Hebert.
Chicago.
There we go.
I love it.
Nice pick.
If you listen to our draft preview, you'll know that I made this selection before I made like the 4 through 7. I basically was just like, I just think Ruthie would be an amazing fit in Chicago. and I want to see how everything else would play out so that could happen. And so I remember we were doing the mock draft, just like it was specifically Logan with the 7 pick, just like, oh, please take Meg, please take Meg. And I was stoked because I think this is a phenomenal pick. And I think this is someone who will fill, once she gets her feet really under her after a rookie season, sophomore season, this is someone who's going to fill a hole that is going to take Chicago to a new level. That's my feeling. So
I like this pick. I think it shores up their front court, like Steve said. I think that she's a more traditional inside presence than you find in a Steph Dolson type. So yeah, I like it.
I like the dynamic. You've got Ruthie, you've got Azra, you've got Steph Dolson. I like the idea that you have 3 people that you can, put any combo of those 2 on the court at the same time, and I think you have potential for some really effective basketball. It really helps. You take a lot of pressure off either any of them individually to have to maintain that front court really well, which I think is going to be helpful for every single one of them. So, I really hope that they have big plans for her because there's a lot of good stuff. I love them spreading out all the hats on the coffee table. I don't know if you noticed that. They've got all the team hats. I'm sitting here like, I'll take one. They'll probably be for sale before long. We'll see, but I love it. I love the selection. We have 4 more picks out of the first round. 2 of them are currently New York. So this is where it gets interesting. Assuming that no sneaky move is made at the 9, and I'm not on Twitter, so I haven't seen any insider, if anything crazy were to happen. If something does, someone cut me off. But right now, looking at the 9, where do you guys see the Liberty moving?
I think
right
Liberty.
Now, our 9 selection is Crystal Dangerfield because that's when it was Dallas. I'm just gonna go down a limb and say I just don't think they need like a 14th guard.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have to go with a forward here, unless they're looking for a trade. Unless a trade comes through and they pick for someone else. But right now,
Yes.
I think this is where you're gonna see. Oh, Simone Biles.
That's
Nice.
dope.
That's what I'm
I love
talking
it.
about. A 6'4" basketball player getting
Logan was
congrats from
having-
Simone Biles.
Logan was having stream troubles, but every draftee or most of the draftees have had like a specific idol of theirs, a player. A lot of them NBA players, and Ruthie's was Simone Biles.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've gone on record on Twitter a few times saying that she might actually have claim to being the most dominant athlete on the planet.
Yeah, got an argument.
I like it.
I think I want Walt Hopkins, who I just love, to be coaching Sabrina and Megan in this year's rookie class. I think this is where Megan needs to go.
That feels right. Looks like it's happening right now. I just can't imagine they don't, but weirder things have happened. Here we go.
With the 9th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, the New York Liberty select Megan Walker.
Yep. Saw
right
that
move.
one.
That's the right move.
That's exactly who they should take. With who's available, that's who you go with right there.
That's a solid move.
I hope
that's an outdated hat, but
a really long time.
Solid move. It's an outdated Liberty hat that they had to give out, probably for obvious reasons. But I want to give respect to Megan Walker for putting the hat on.
Yeah.
A lot of people put a lot of work into their hair and a lot of, into their look. I'm not going to call anyone out, but respect. It's draft day. You put the hat on.
You put the hat on. I like it.
Yeah. Thoughts from the chat, by the way. I want to, first of all, obviously your thoughts on Megan Walker to Liberty, but just we're big on the Liberty's rebrand. I'm curious other people's opinions on cleaned up logo, more emphasis on the seafoam and black.
Yeah.
Just sound off. You're allowed to disagree. In fact, we welcome it. That's what makes good dialogue. This is my communication studies major coming out, I guess.
While those were coming in, turquoise or teal or whatever this is technically seafoam and black. Any of that like area of the color palette with black is probably my favorite color combo that you ever see. And being the Liberty, and being color, like your colors are the Statue of Liberty colors, like that's as good of a team branding as you see in just about all of sports.
I picked up on that like 4 years. I remember it like hitting me all at once. Like that's why they use that, and it made me really happy. And so, I'd love it if they somehow like snuck. Not it wouldn't look good, but if they snuck copper into something, or like they sell a hat that is
Yeah.
copper, and then it
Pretty cool.
oxidizes. I understand how stupid this idea is. For the
An
record, it's a
actually
dumb idea.
physically copper
It's not
hat.
nearly as good as my torch cone idea, but it's something. We're now
great.
moving on to Phoenix, number 10.
Enjoys
Arizona.
Paradise Punch tropical smoothies before games. I like that. Megan
Oh, yeah.
Walker, I think. I wonder if Megan would have had. I almost said Megan Durant because they said Kevin Durant as I said that. If I wonder if Megan would have had a stronger take if we had a March to look at.
Mhm.
I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder how much of this
absolutely.
was kind of like just our last impressions, and then I think Kennedy and Sabali both like coming in, like declaring as juniors. I think was kind of a big like push. You know, I think anybody who declares early obviously gets some newsworthiness, and people get excited about them. Not saying that they don't deserve a number 2 and number 4 pick, but I do think that Megan Walker is someone who you could easily see could have gone at, you know, a 5 and potentially even a 4.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. So we got Megan Walker now officially to the Liberty, and the Liberty ain't done yet. They still have one more selection slotted at the 12. But we now head over to the Mercury at 10.
Yes.
And they are not short on good options.
No, there's a lot
handful of
still
players
available.
that could have gone a lot earlier. I know who I want to see in the Phoenix spot. Looks like the pick's not quite in yet, but you guys have any immediate takes on where you go if you're Phoenix?
I think Crystal Dangerfield fits really well there. I mean, you've got you've got an aging backcourt.
Tell us more,
Just
Kyle.
to say it nicely, they still got it.
They still got it.
But they're aging. So I think Crystal Dangerfield makes a lot of sense here. I think
Oh,
that
man.
I could see that going. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, you know, taking a Tia Cooper out of Baylor. That wouldn't be out of the ordinary for me. I do think they go a guard here personally, but I'm curious your guys' takes.
Yeah, Logan, your thoughts?
Well, unlike Kyle, I don't think the Mercury belong in an old folks' home just yet. But I do think they go guard here.
Sorry, guys. The 10's in.
Oh, pick is in.
Here we go.
In the 2020 WNBA draft, the Phoenix Mercury select Jocelyn Willoughby.
Oh,
Jocelyn
Jocelyn Willoughby. That's a
freaking
good one.
Willoughby. I love it. I
Her
love
response
this
is
pick.
perfect. Her response is awesome. She just had like this
I-
deep sigh and whoa, wow.
Top scorer of the ACC. I love. Oh my gosh, I love Willoughby. This is. I was not expecting this. This is a good pick. My call was going to be Joyner Holmes out of Texas. I like this.
This is good. She was a big time snub that we mentioned in our mock draft. And how do you feel? Like, I think Jocelyn will be, yeah, you're drafted, but you also realize that you're about to go be on a team with Brittany Griner, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Diana Taurasi. Like,
I like this. She's obviously a dynamic scorer. I think something that's going to really help her in Phoenix. She loves contact. She loves getting the ball low. She likes bumping. She likes, finding glass in those cases. I think that's perfect pairing with someone like Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
I think it spreads the floor really well when you have a player like that. So when you have a Skylar Diggins-Smith who giving her even a few inches of room, I mean, Skylar's speed. I mean, this really, it's a move because it's a good fit. I think overall, I think it's a better move that it accentuates all of the other tools that you have. This has potential to be an awesome move. I really wasn't sure if we were going to see Willoughby come in for the first round, and I'm thrilled that she is. Yeah. Also, I may have another pick selection correct because to me, I think the 11 is a no-brainer, but we'll have to see. Any other thoughts on Jocelyn?
I thought Jocelyn was going to fall and that Indiana was going to grab her at the top of the second round. And I thought that would have been a good fit for her. And I'm impressed that the Mercury went ahead and grabbed her here. But this now means that some of the picks that we made in our mock draft in the first round are going to start falling, and we're going to see a lot of value here in the next little bundle.
Yep.
As these next few teams go.
Yeah.
Agreed. You've got Gillespie, you've got Mom Premier, you've got Crystal Dangerfield still out there. You've got Katia Laksa, who was my pick at 12 for Washington. Yeah. You've got a lot here, and we've only got 2 picks left, and that's just off the top of my head. I mean, as you look through the rest of, you got Joyner Holmes. There's still plenty of talent left in this draft that I think are going to be some late round gems here.
And especially in this 11 and 12, those are 2 teams that I don't know that they have an immediate hole to fill. Yeah. It's really going to come down to let's find the best player, just best player on the board. What we think based on what we know, I think it's going to make those fun. I mean, I'm pretty stout in my 11 selection. So I'm just going to call it out now. But it'd be nice that I'm going to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would make sense.
What? You don't even let me give the pick. What's
sorry.
You're spoiling the picks for me. You're not even letting. Come on, man.
Sorry, I just was thinking out loud of who you'd picked.
My bad. He's spoiling the things we are thinking.
Listen, I know you're on that work Wi-Fi. That can make people grumpy, but man, I'm kidding.
I apologize.
No, I think. All right, looks like the pick's not quite in, but yeah, I think it's just based on what I think she can bring, what she can do to support a front court that obviously you're getting Bree Stewart back, but if you can help mitigate some physicality, that would be fantastic. For that reason, to quote Steve Holt, I'm going with Beatrice. It's a very deep Arrested Development reference, but I love Mom Premier. She had a nagging injury, came back, looked really strong to close out her season in the ACC. She's another one who I really wondered if the tournament was going to help her stock a ton. I think Mom Premier could have been a top 5 selection pretty easily. I think if she has the tournament to make some noise, but that's just the cards everyone's dealt. So that's where I go with that. That said, you named the whole gauntlet of players. That doesn't even include also a lot of players overseas who have potential. You got Luis out of Germany. We've talked a lot about Keisha Laksa out of Latvia, who we really like. There's just a large handful of players that could have some really high value. And now, if New York doesn't move those second round picks, man, that trade's looking better and better for them. With potentials, because they're wide open with a wide array of options. And by the way, a lot of these selections we've seen so far, you assume that they're going through. They probably are. You never know, though, what's going on behind the scenes. Really good chance.
Yep.
We still see some movement. We just like fireworks. We like drama.
I'm impressed we're at 12 and haven't had an announced trade. I'm really surprised. I'm really, really surprised by that.
Mostly because Dallas has like 2 more picks in the second, and they've already used 3 in the first.
Yeah,
and like they can't do that, right? That's illegal. So it's got to be against the rules.
I mean, the Aces. Did the Aces not have a pick till like 3rd round? I think this year. I don't think the Aces are even making a selection, and I actually don't even know when the Sparks have a pick coming up. I should look that up. Off the top of my head, I can't think of it. But
so there's a report. I forget who dropped it. Eric Ayala bumped it on Twitter. Sabrina Ionescu jerseys are already out of stock online.
No.
Yep.
That's amazing. She will sell so many jerseys.
It's the 11th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft. Seattle Storm select Katia
Laksa. Laksa going. Yes.
I can confidently say Kyle is the only person who had that in terms of drafting. I read like 20 mock drafts and never saw her in the
I
first.
mean, I can send you a screenshot of my personal lineup where I had her.
I don't,
Let me
when we were
Let me
doing
see where I had her. I just want some credit, but publicly it was Kyle. Kyle gets the credit. Kyle just wins everything today.
No, you know who wins? Seattle for picking her. That's who wins.
No, 100%. I've ever since we recorded that episode, I've been watching Loxa highlights back and forth. Just a dynamic score and then some. You know, we were talking a lot about the Christy Tolliver shot in Game 5 of the 2016 Finals. Kyle and I were going back and forth on that because we did the rewatch last night. That shot, like the arched back, off balance, wrong foot with the clock. That's like Kitty's like standard jumper. Like, she's so much fun. She played really well in the, I believe, 2018 World Cup against Team USA. You know, this is someone that I think will come in. Sue Bird's loving the pick. You gotta love that.
I am as a actual Seattle. I'm a closet fan of like.
Guys, the 12's already in.
Oh wow!
Oh shoot!
We keep cutting
Very
Logan up.
excited.
Sorry, dude.
Jasmine
Wow.
Jones.
I did not anticipate Jones going this high.
All of this energy, I hadn't even thought of Louisville. Hey now.
I'm not mad about it. I just am surprised. I'll say that.
I really didn't know that they would go with another guard. This is starting to make me wonder if something could be afoot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is.
There's 2 or 3 picks right now that I have me scratching my head as far as fits. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they are part of a package potentially involving some other current players that we find out here soon.
This is interesting. Yeah. I'm T. Cooper, Kyle Gillespie's still on the board. Joyner Holmes still on the board.
Dangerfield.
I've really got to wonder if something's afoot here. I'm not saying. I just think I know how badly New York wanted Ruthie, and they have 2 very valuable players they could try to entice Chicago with. I don't know. I'm no insider. Golly.
Okay, so that is the official first round. Sabrina, Satu, Lauren Cox. Let's see, who do we have going? Kennedy Carter going. Sorry, I missed these ones. Kennedy Carter, Bella Allery. That's a solid top 6 right out the gate. There's a couple. Who do you think is your biggest surprise going in the first round right now?
Kiki at 6.
Yeah.
I just don't know who was immediately expecting that. And as it happened, you turn your head and go, you know what? I see why that happened. That makes some sense. If she meshes well with Feast and with Sylvia, it's a really great front court. But I personally didn't even have Kiki in my first round as I was going through my own, kind of mocks. And to me, it was testament to how deep this draft is. But I think the move made sense as you heard it, but was not expecting it. Megan Walker falling to 9. And then the 10 through 12 was just, oh man. Man.
10 through 12, like Loxa makes sense. The other 2 I thought would probably be second round drafts.
I love Jocelyn to Phoenix. I just didn't think it would happen. I like the move a lot. Jasmine does surprise me. That it just very blatantly surprises me. And that's not I think Jasmine Jones is a great player. She's a quality guard. I just didn't expect it when you look at who else was on the board. There were some other moves, but man, if you're thinking this is just a first round discussion and you're looking to drop off and call it a night and go of a nightcap, stay tuned because it's still some interesting stuff here. Good stuff. What are your thoughts? Sound off in the chat. Let us know your thoughts about the first round. What was the most surprising pick to you? Who's the best player left on the board to potentially go second round? Who do you think is about to get a real steal in the second round? I'd love to hear any response you guys have. And Kyle's basically the hawk of the chat. He's better at looking at it than I am.
Trying
because
to stay up
I'm
on
not
it.
even trying to deflect. Like my mic legitimately blocks my view of the chat, so I just now don't naturally look at it. And that's just life, I guess. So we'll sound out some good opinions there. Any questions you guys have? Anything you guys want us to respond to? Any immediate thoughts, insights we can dive into about anything? It could be about basketball. It can be about popcorn. It can be about Converse. It can be about horticulture. It could be about milk. It could be. I don't know if you guys know this, but Kyle is an FFA state champion and national
Milk
ranking
tasting.
in milk tasting. So if you got milk questions, there's your boy.
I got the milk facts. I can't say that. I got the milk facts.
Yeah, he knows milk. That's my favorite fact about Kyle, for the record, is that he's just really, really good at tasting milk. Which that should be just the top line of your LinkedIn, is really good at tasting milk. Like instead of like wine tasting, like, hey, we're going milk tasting.
We're going milk like it's a party. Like we're going to hang out. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Amazing. Breaking tea already rolling out some swag. Let's see what they got here.
We've got New York on the clock. That's the first time we've seen that tonight, isn't it?
Here we go, number 13. All right, here's the Liberty. 2 picks in a row. I didn't even realize that.
Is the WNBA commissioner from her home in New Jersey, Kathy Engelbert.
Here we go.
With the 13th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, the New York Liberty select Kylie Shook.
Kylie Shook.
The
Ooh, I
1-2
am
punch
shook.
rule.
Wow.
Was Asia Durr sitting in a war room somewhere? Like, guys. Like,
they just picked up back-to-back Louisville picks to go hang out with Asia. That is interesting. Crazy. I thought Shook. Louisville fans, you can hate me all you want. I thought Shook was a late second round pick for me. So yeah. props, but I did not anticipate her going this close to the first round.
It was not the direction I expected them to go in. But I'm really interested. Logan, your thoughts here. So you have the Liberty kind of taking, I would almost say, 2 gambles at the 12 and 13. They're going back to back with Louisville players, with some high quality players. If you're Walt Hopkins, if you're the Liberty, like what's the mindset that you think leads to that type of a decision?
I think it's just trying to create something in the locker room that like not just a competition level, like you got to earn your playing time, but also just in expectation that like we're not going to go according to anyone's draft board. Like we're going to get the people that we want, whether they're rated, like in football, they have the star ratings. Like, I don't think Walt cares about like how highly rated certain players are coming out of college. He wants players that are going to fit with something that he's trying to do. And he's obviously, I imagine he's been in touch with Sabrina and been in touch with, a lot of these top players about, who they are, like as people and personality wise, gotten a feel for them. But he's trying to tinker with, the Liberty chemistry as much as, this is just, I'm so psyched. I'm sorry I'm so scatterbrained about this. I'm excited that the Liberty freaking fixed their logo just in time for us to be like all aboard this train.
It's so much easier to be hyped about the Liberty with a good brand.
I'm literally scrolling through Twitter right now and people are like, jerseys are sold out. People I've never seen tweet about women's basketball are like, look, I'm kind of a Mystics guy, but I'm a Sabrina fan.
But I'm into this, yeah.
He's already an icon. And you can argue whether or not that's earned at the next level or not, but like we know she can compete. I mean, she beat Team USA this year, so like don't give me the like, oh, let's wait to see her play first. But like she's legitimately an icon. Like she will get eyeballs on this sport that nobody has ever gotten before. And it's not just the friendship with Kobe or like the letter in the Tribune. It's just everything. And so like
The question is, can she get a 10-24 team back into prominence?
Right.
Oh, looks like, sorry. Before we talk about that, it looks like
Fever's got a
Fever
pick
14
in.
play.
With the 14th
Please,
pick
Dangerfield.
in the 2020 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Kathleen Doyle.
Ooh.
What is going on?
I am so surprised that we've not seen Dangerfield yet.
Dangerfield, Gillespie still on the board.
This is a lot of guards that have gone early ahead of who we considered. Man, this after like the 8 pick has just been a whole bunch of
bonkers.
like wildness that we
You
have
had
not
Megan
seen.
9, and then it's just been crazy ever
Oh,
since.
it's true. I
And
get
freaking
Megan
Liberty
at
are on the clock again.
They have like every other pick right now.
in the comments, I noticed there's some people saying that maybe they weren't so sold on Tia Cooper. And she's another one that's kind of falling out of where we thought maybe she would go. So I think it's interesting. Wrapping up my Liberty thoughts before they get another pick in is I think they're just trying to create an environment where like it's Sabrina's team, and they're trying to surround her with tools and role players that they think are going to complement her game. And that might not necessarily be the best overall player. It's just going to be the right player.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this right now. The Liberty went double with Louisville. They were able to pick up, Meg at the 9. They might be stealing Beatrice here.
I could, dude,
I'm
a late
Let's see what
Beatrice
Cappy says
pick here would be perfect.
15 on the way.
In the 2020 WNBA draft, the New York Liberty select Liana Odom from Duke University.
Wow.
What?
Odom going ahead of Gorecki even.
Wow. Duke
All
was
of these
one of my
players-
favorite teams last year, and I love Odom. Man, this is fun. This is like
crazy.
I mean, unless there's just stuff like people were calling that out. You may not be sold on players who seem like they were coming in high level. But I've been surprised for the last 5 consecutive picks, 6 consecutive picks, really.
I expected Odom to go and Gorecki to go in the draft. I did not expect to hear those names before.
I was curious if potentially Odom, I've seen mocks that had her 3rd round even, and so that's where I'm really surprised.
I'm surprised, and
guard heavy. You've got a forward, great mid range game,
like
quality shooter, smart player. I get all that,
but yeah, like Gorecki, like being an all ACC team, like all ACC defense, like has all the accolades. I mean, a lot of this is just going to come down to coaches just see something in these players that they like, and they
at this point it's
some players.
let's try to play around here. So we've got Beatrice still on the board, we've got Gillespie still on the board, we've Crystal Dangerfield still on the board. Those are the big 3 that I'm looking at. Michaela Pivich is going to land somewhere, and be a steal.
She's going to be the Emma Meesman 19 pick that just like, all right, take me wherever you want. Like,
yeah. This is crazy.
We have so many prospects that I thought we would for sure see earlier. We've got Mignon Moore, who we still haven't seen either.
Yep.
Oh,
Speaking of Pivich, Minnesota would be fun for her. But
Minnesota would be really good.
All of those young players together with the Liberty. Time for the 16th pick.
Pick is
Here we
in.
go.
Lynx.
All right.
With the 16th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Crystal.
There it is.
Dang.
Lexi Brown and Crystal Dangerfield in the same backcourt makes me so excited.
Crystal Dangerfield and Nafisa Collier sharing a court.
Yes.
I called this. I remember in our mock, I talked about how I would have loved to have seen Dangerfield go at 6 to the Lynx for exactly that reason. I mean, fantastic guard that she didn't go in the first round is nuts, but to be able to pair her to Feast, you want to talk about a steal?
Yeah, this is
Man,
her going at 16. Minnesota just picked up a really solid pick at 16. I wonder if the entire time, like, their whole like war room is just sitting there like, wait, really? She still hasn't been picked?
they had like 3 other
That's
names on the list. Like,
beautiful.
oh wait, sorry, I was just expecting.
Welcome to the WNBA.
She went second round. She's getting interview time. I think that should explain it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we still have
crazy.
Kayla Charles, I believe, has a draft package and has not been picked yet. I'm trying to think if anybody else off the top of my head. Kaya Gillespie, I believe, did as well. I can't guarantee that.
Cooper.
Did Cooper? I don't remember.
She might. She may not. Very well may not.
Man, a really efficient offense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
She's a, she. I mean, this is crazy, but man,
Shout out to Jason, our producer, and he's a host, but he's been working on the back end so much because of a time difference, a time zone difference between us. He's in in the Caribbean right now, so he's been doing the back end stuff for us. And just shouts to him. He also just let me know that the Sparks they have the 20th pick. So
come on, man.
You know, I don't know how many of these players New York actually plans on keeping and playing this year surrounding Sabrina. But looking at Jones and Odom and Shook, it looks like all three of their MOs are basically really versatile and really defensive. Like,
yeah,
play multiple positions, all defensive caliber players. And I dig it.
I expect the Liberty at this point, the way I see it. I'm not Walt. Walt knows more about basketball than I do. I potentially see a my brain just shut off. A Dur Ionescu backcourt. I could see Nurse at the 3 with that matchup.
Oh,
And because of that,
that's such a good 1-2-3.
I like the idea of picking up these mid-range plus D players that are just like, we just need you ready to be wherever you can be put.
Yeah, that's
like at
true.
a given time.
Yeah, I mean, someone who can play a stretch 4, but also could bring the ball up if we need it. Like, yeah, I like what we've got so far. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're just. I don't know what New York is doing. I'll be honest.
Crazy, obviously craziness could happen.
Yeah,
But
I'm so excited to go through
players.
all of this, like top to bottom, and give draft grades after this. I'm so excited for that.
But I mean, you look at the guard depth here. I think it makes sense. A lot of those players, in a sense, make sense when you're looking at. I mean, freaking the Liberty roster is something else right
nuts.
now. Becca Allen, Brittany Boyd, Laisha Clarendon. Like, it just goes nuts. Taylor Hill.
I love the idea that the Liberty basically just said, if we can play defense and keep every game close, we have Sabrina at the end of every game that we can give the ball to.
We're gonna play smallest ball.
Here's my thing. When they took Kiki Herbert Harrigan at 6, I thought, what are you doing, Minnesota? Like, Dangerfield's on, like, she's open. You're gonna miss out on her. You need a point guard. Take her. And they ended up getting her anyway. Like, that's what that's bonkers to me. That's crazy.
I also feel like a lot of what we say at the Liberty, I think their stock is even higher. I think everyone assumed it is high. I think their stock is even higher on Amanda Zowie B than even we thought.
Yeah. Oh. I like Zowie B. Oh, whoa.
Brittany Brewer to the Dream. Beatrice Mom premiere to the Sparks.
Nice. Join her Holmes at Seattle and Tia Cooper to the Mercury. I love it.
I like all of those selections in the order that they're in.
Yes, I actually really like the Mom premiere to the Sparks. That's actually a really solid, because they did trade away. What am I blanking on her right now? Rookie last year that was amazing. That was
Lonnie Brown.
Yes, thank
Kalani
you,
Brown.
Kalani Brown. Yeah, they traded her away. So picking up Mom Premier is really solid.
I like. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, talking about the COVID-19 situation and what
Mhm.
to look for.
Yeah, they're curious why they're stockpiling picks. She's kind of explaining that just a bit.
Scenario planning on ultimate season, and we're looking forward to it, quite frankly. But lots of
Man.
surprises and lots changing. All this stuff
I'm
is
trying.
happening every
I'm
hour.
trying to confirm that list because it hasn't updated on the website. Just want to make sure we can actually effectively talk about those selections. Here we go.
Pick
Okay,
is
so
in for Dallas again.
All right, T.
Go ahead.
Cooper to Phoenix, which is great. Brittany Brewer at a Texas Tech to the Dream is interesting. That's unexpected. I love Joyner Holmes of Seattle, and you heard my response to Beatrice to the Sparks. That is fantastic. This is a lot of interesting stuff happening.
Dallas just picked up Giesel Soder out of Germany.
Out of Germany.
She's she was on a lot of the we're starting to pick up a bunch of overseas picks. Sorry, the picks are coming in really quick just on the ticker at the bottom. And I don't want to take away from what Kathy Engelbert's saying. Can I just say so far I've been very impressed with Kathy's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how she's handled things so far, especially talk about what a situation to step into. Your first season in the league is what it is right now. And I think so far, if we're giving grades out, Engelbert's an A minus for me right now.
Okay, so the absolute worst thing you can do in covering the WNBA, and I agree with this take, is doing the NBA comparison. And so we talk a lot about how annoying that is. But honestly, the Engelbert Silver comparisons have a lot of heavy, simply with how they started. I mean, a lot of Silver's was how he handled controversy. I mean, like one of the first things when he stepped through the door said, "Hey, Don Sterling, get out of here." And that's really Kathy in a lot of ways, I think, if we're getting more picks, filled a lot of, really filled a lot of holes effectively, has thought in a very unique way that I think has really helped. You can tell that there's relationships with players. There's a lot to be excited about there for sure.
Round 3, pick 25.
Kyla Charles to the Sun.
5-itch to LA. Jalen Agnew to Washington.
This is crazy.
We're already into round 3. This is nuts. Guys, thank you all for tuning in with us and being a part of all of this. We've had an absolute blast so far. This has been phenomenal.
This is good stuff. Looks like this may be wrapping up sooner rather than later. So who do we still have on the board is my question.
I really like this.
I haven't seen Pivich yet.
Yeah, Pivich is still there.
Pivich is still in. Am I crazy or have I not seen Gillespie anywhere?
From what I've been able to try and read, it's been hard to follow, but I have not seen Gillespie, and I thought she was a first rounder.
Fast, and it's like so fast it's not even up on the website. We haven't seen a graphic. There's some very effective tweet. Oh, the WNBA Twitter's been all right, but there's some people on Twitter that are doing God's work right now.
John Clark just tweeted, "Damn, they drafted people during the commercial break. These ladies only worked their entire life for this moment."
Top 5 right now. Top 5 U.S. trends right now. By the way, WNBA draft: Sabrina Ionescu, New York Liberty, Megan Walker, and Satu are the top 5 trends right now. Just look that up.
Love
it.
That
was cool.
We jumped over this because of the rapid fire segment, but I'm super down with Joyner Holmes in Seattle. I think that's really solid.
We're good. So yeah, Luis Adejurmi to the Wings, Phoebich to the Sparks, Kai Charles and Agnew at the 24 to the Mystics.
So it looks like they went quick. They went quick through those last few picks of the second round. Those were just boom, boom, boom. So it looks like they're giving a little break before round 3.
Right.
So it looks like they're really trying to push him off by 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I think unless you guys disagree, and if anyone in the chat was, this might be as good as ever to kind of wrap things up. I think.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to be rolling into a lot of picks pretty quickly. There's going to be a lot to respond to, and last thing you need is for us to sound super jumbled. But last quick takes, I guess, so far. Overarching with the first 2 rounds out of the way. Chime in the chat really quick and let us know how you feel. What have been some of your favorite things you've seen out of the first 2 rounds? What's some questions you have? Your overall impressions. But Logan, Kyle, I guess as a night in general, we have a virtual draft. We've had a lot of different unique pieces. We had a great tribute moment. We've had a lot of interesting picks from top to bottom. What's your overall impression on the 2020 draft? This will be one to remember, I think.
A lot of surprises. I think
Erico
that the
Gumake
first...
to the Liberty. Sorry, I just saw that on the screen.
Nice. Love it.
Dang. Sorry. Keep going.
3 Agumakes in the league. Can't be upset about that. I think there's several teams that performed better in the draft than I anticipated them to perform. I'll say that. And I will save that as a teaser take for our draft grades coming up, which is something that we're going to be recording here very shortly. We'll be getting that out. If you haven't yet, and you are watching us on the live stream, and you haven't found us on a podcast grabber, whatever, find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, any other place that you listen to your podcast. Go find us on there. Subscribe if it allows you to give us a rating. We'd love a 5-star rating from you guys to be able to boost our numbers. If you also are looking for a way to support us, we had up to 280 of you tuning in. We appreciate that. We're doing this out of our own pockets, out of our own time, and we appreciate all the support and love that we can get. If you want to become a producer of the show, go ahead and check us out on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/WNBA Nation. And
really
you can
quick, someone needs to get Mo Curry a Slurpee. She just said, wish I could get a Slurpee. Someone get Mo Curry. Mo Buckets deserves a Slurpee. Come on.
So check us out on Patreon, and for as little as just a couple bucks a month, you can do a lot of good things and help us out with some of our costs as far as producing the show. Every dime that comes in on Patreon goes directly back into show production, so we appreciate all that.
Yep, pivot to the dream, by the way.
Oh yeah, I could be on
where,
nice.
where she lands.
I could rock a pivot stream jersey.
So pivot,
for sure.
Pivot playing Colin ball, which is all right. No, co-sign absolutely everything that Kyle said. We absolutely appreciate the support. Thank you so much for spending the time with us here tonight on the live stream. This has been, a fun night. A little frustrating at the end here with all these speedy picks. It's wish we had a better chance to kind of highlight some of these players. But that said, we really appreciate all the care and support. We're going to be recording the Gorecki to the Storm. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's a very good move. I like that a lot. Sorry. I need to stop being distracted. We're going to be recording.
did get a package and didn't go till 3rd round. That's kind of crazy.
Great hat setup. So we will be recording our review and grades very soon. You'll hopefully be seeing that early next week. And we'll look forward to connecting with you at that point. Hopefully we'll do a few more of these. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months. We'd love to do some more live streaming, some more conversation. It's been a lot of fun connecting with you guys. Hopefully you've had some fun with us. Let us know how you feel. But I really think that's everything that I've got on my end. Do we sign off? How do these things work?
I think we just say, let's sign off, and then we'll see how long it takes for Jason to cut it off for us.
Gillespie finally got taken to the sky. That's like the last probably big one we can.
There you go.
There you have it. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to join us for this live stream for the 2020 WNBA draft. You guys probably have some post discussions you want to hit. I believe High Post, Winsider. There's a lot of other organizations. Go check those out. They're doing amazing work. This has been a really tough media day. A lot of people have been furloughed, losing jobs. So go and support content creators wherever you can. These are people that are trying to make a living giving you the coverage that the WNBA deserves. So give them your support as well, as much as you've given us. We appreciate it. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Farewell.
We will
see
see you later.
We'll just act professional.